What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We actually got a Shams bomb on a Saturday. Do we like that? Shams bomb? I don't know. Woj obviously gone now. Shams is at ESPN. Whatever. Dennis Schroder has been traded to the Golden State Warriors. We just did a Warriors rebuild talking about how what if they got Jimmy Butler? Well, they've traded for Dennis Schroder. Does that take them out of the Butler sweepstakes? Not necessarily. But we just did a video on them, so today we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets side of things. Today we're going to jump in and rebuild the Brooklyn Nets right after they've traded Dennis Schroder, and we're going to talk about what else they could potentially do leading up to the deadline. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. As I said, we just got that trade to happen, or that trade just happened today as I'm recording this. Recording this on Saturday. You guys probably won't see this video until Monday. If you guys really want to see me do a Dennis Schroder Warriors rebuild, I guess let me know down in the comment section below. But as I mentioned, I just did a Jimmy Butler what if video, so I wasn't sure if you guys would want to see me do another Warriors one. But I guess just let me know if you guys are really interested in seeing that or not. So, as I said, they just traded away Schroder and a second round pick for DeAnthony Melton, who's out for the rest of the season, so it's basically an expiring contract, and 3 second round picks. So basically they net 2 seconds for Dennis Schroder. Kind of what I thought they potentially get. He's been pretty good this season for them. And now you have to think, who's next for this team? Who will be traded next? And I have to imagine that both Finney Smith and Cameron Johnson are 2 guys that would easily, or that could easily see being traded this coming deadline. Claxton is an interesting name too, but I'm going to say probably not him. I think Finney Smith and Cameron Johnson, though, are 100% on the way out of this roster. They're going to get a first probably for each of them, which would put the Nets in a good position. Obviously, they're rebuilding once again from the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving debacle. They, dug themselves out a hole before that from the big trade to Celtics. Then they go for Kyrie and Durant, which felt like the right thing. They trade for James Harden, and now they're back to square one, but they're off to a decent start once again. So without further ado, we're going to simulate to the trade deadline, continue on what I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to do this deadline. We're going to trade away both Cameron Johnson and Finney Smith there, get some first for each of them, and then we'll get in the offseason and draft the future of the Nets, of course. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play an app such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these other popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is often finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research for this DFS app. So as you can see, looking at the board right now on a Saturday, as I said, and we do have, well, do we have anything? So we have Devontae Adams over 5.5 receptions. This is an incredible play over on PrizePicks. As you can see, average odds of -138 across the board. So this is something we absolutely love, and we would absolutely smash the over on PrizePicks. Clear discrepancies here. You also have another one with Jerome Ford under 8.5 rushing attempts. We like that as well. One book even has this at 7.5, which is why we like this a ton. Which is why I also love Daily Grind Fantasy to finding good plays like this. Jonas Smith for 4.5 receptions. As you can see, the list goes on. And of course, the more sports that are being played, the better the value is. And we also love PrizePicks as well. Make sure to check them out. Links down in the description below alongside Daily Grind Fantasy. So you get on PrizePicks, if you play $5, you get $50 instantly. So use code Crushables for that. And on Daily Grind Fantasy, you get 25% off your first month when you use code Crushables. So make sure to use code Crushables on both sites. Of that, let's get back to the rebuild. Funny enough, as I'm recording this, the Warriors envision starting Dennis Schroder and Stephen Curry in the backcourt together. I just recorded a short video where I had Schroder coming off the bench because I thought that might be what happens. But whatever, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Someone will probably be triggered at me in the comments. It's all good. But let's go ahead and look at some trade offers for Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith, as I said. So to get the best possible trade value, you're going to be moving Finney-Smith, also small forward. But those are the 2 guys I will trade. I also forgot about Bojan Bogdanovic. I don't know how long his injury is, but he could definitely be another guy that maybe the Nets could trade away. But let's go ahead and start with Cameron Johnson because he's going to be the obvious best player here, but you're definitely going to be able to get something for him. Maybe you could even get 2 firsts for each of these guys. Maybe a little bit optimistic. I think I'm going to at least just try to get at least 1 first for each of them, but maybe Brooklyn can find a way to get 2. I don't know. So obviously, we're not going to do any trade for Porzingis. That sounds crazy. So Miami obviously just Miami is offering us Terry Rozier and a first-round pick, which is very interesting. Obviously, they're trading away Jimmy Butler, so this probably won't be something we do just based off what might happen with Jimmy Butler. So the Kings are offering me Malik Monk in a second, OG Anunoby in a first. Is there anything else? Isaac in a first-round pick from Orlando. Actually, it's kind of interesting because Orlando could use some floor spacing for sure, and Isaac could be a nice little piece for us to have going forward. So Johnson actually could make a ton of sense for Orlando. So I actually kind of like that one a lot. Detroit, same thing. We get Tobias Harris's contract. We get a top 10 protected first. Kind of what we're looking for, obviously, there. So Detroit and Orlando, two teams that make a ton of sense for Cameron Johnson's services. And then San Antonio isn't bad either. And we get Keldon Johnson as a piece, you know, that we could start here in Brooklyn. I don't hate it. He could be like our starting shooting guard going forward. I don't mind it. But I do think I'm going to start with, well, let's talk to the Pistons because Isaac's contract's a little bit larger than Tobias Harris's. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with the Pistons. So the Pistons are offering me a top 10 protected first in Tobias Harris. Can I find a way to get, well, they don't have, like, can we get like an unprotected 2029? Like, is that too crazy to kind of ask for? So we're just going to see if we can get like a good haul for Cameron Johnson. So what do they want if we ask for this? They're probably going to want a first back from us. And it's taking forever to counter offers. They actually want Bojan Bogdanovic back, which is interesting. So they get Cameron Johnson and Bojan, who obviously Bojan was traded here originally. I can't remember exactly what that trade looked like, but I'm actually down for this. I'm going to go ahead, send Cameron Johnson and Bojan Bogdanovic to Detroit. We get a top 10 protected first, Tobias Harris, and another first. So yeah, I actually like this a lot. So Detroit gets some forwards to add next to Cade Cunningham and Ivy. Tobias Harris is gone, and we get Simone as well. So let's go ahead and do this trade to Detroit. Feels good to get that done. Two birds, or kill two birds with one stone. So that's done. Cameron Johnson's now a Piston. So now we can move on to Dorian Finney-Smith, see what we can get for him, and then we're off and running. So Dorian Finney-Smith, if we can get something really good for you, that would also be fantastic. And then I also think Brooklyn, I've kind of said this in previous videos, I do think Brooklyn could also use Ben Simmons' expiring contract to take on some bad salaries potentially. Maybe get another first round pick in that way as well. If there's some team wanting to dump some bad salary, wouldn't surprise me if they could do something like that and get a first round pick for taking on some bad contracts with Simmons' contract. But Sacramento's offered me a lottery protected Kings pick and Trey Lyles. I think this makes a ton of sense. We probably will end up settling on that. But we have the Magic coming in again. The Mavericks maybe wanting Finney-Smith back, but I don't think the Mavericks can just do this without including more salary than that. They don't have like the salary to absorb Finney-Smith like that. I don't think anyway. 2K is kind of saying they do for some reason. But we are going to go ahead and do the trade of Sacramento. I do think that trade makes a lot of sense for both sides. So we get a lot protected first in the future. We get Trey Lyles, and Finney-Smith is now a King, who makes sense for them. So that will be the two trades we do at the deadline to push this Brooklyn Nets further towards where we want. I also put Melton out for the rest of the season. Cameron Thomas will be back in the rotation as well after being out. And now we're chilling for the rest of the year. Obviously, Melton won't be somebody we keep around. More than likely, he'll be off in free agency. I forgot what his injury was, but I think it was like a leg injury. So I'm just going to go ahead and put an injury on him. He'll be out for the rest of the season. And I'll see you guys in the offseason to continue building on this team. But now Cameron Thomas is back in the starting lineup. Right now, we're 19-32. Hopefully, Cameron Thomas doesn't lead us to the playoffs like he does sometimes in 2K. If we start winning like crazy, I'm going to be pissed. But both our forwards are gone. Dennis Schroder is gone. So let's continue on with the tank here. So Jared McCain ends up winning Rookie of the Year, and obviously he's going to be out indefinitely as well with a torn meniscus, which really sucks. Luka Doncic MVP, Amin Thompson 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Jalen Suggs Most Improved, and Jokic is your Clutch Player, and Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third, Offensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. Obviously, we don't have any Brooklyn Nets representatives there, so nothing to worry about too much there. But here we are in the season stats. You had 25 from Cameron Thomas, 14 from Melton when he did play, Watford with 13 and 12, or 13 from Harris, 11 from Zara Williams, and 9 from Claxton. So let's go ahead, still made the playoffs, and did either team get impacted? So Sacramento didn't make it in, and then Detroit is not in either. So both the forwards we obviously, and then Golden State on the other hand, is actually in round 2 with Dennis Schroder, so that's interesting. So let's see how far they go, and they get bounced in round 2. So now we got the Celtics and the Nuggets in the finals, and the Boston Celtics will go on to win it all once again. So back-to-back championships for the Celtics. And now on to the draft lottery, where we'll see where our pick ends up. So we are projected the 4th overall pick, which I'm ecstatic about. Our top 4 pick. Obviously, we're not going to get guaranteed the 4th pick. But if we could stay in the top 5, top 4, top 3, that'd be great. Because obviously falling down would suck, especially in this draft. Getting Ace Bailey or Flag would be great for this video. And we do get number 1 overall. So that's fantastic. Now, we could draft Cooper Flag, but for some reason today, I'm feeling Ace Bailey vibes. I feel like I've gotten Cooper Flag in videos more than I've gotten Ace Bailey. So today, and I think there's been some speculation about, hey, maybe Cooper Flag won't be number 1 overall. Maybe it will be Ace Bailey. So we are going to take Ace Bailey number 1 overall to kind of switch it up and not just always draft Cooper Flag. So that's going to be the first thing we do in this video. Don't think there's going to be anybody else to trade away here. We kind of traded the 2 guys we obviously wanted to move. We also have the 12th pick via the Rockets and the 17th pick via the Bucks. I think this is from something else. but I'll rock with it. I don't know exactly how that pick ends up, but I'm pretty sure this pick is supposed to be... Wait. This pick is supposed to be back with the Rockets. Good question. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I think it might. I think it's supposed to... I don't think we're supposed to have the 12th pick, if I'm honest with you. And it's better to just send it back. I'm not 100% confident if we're supposed to have this pick, so I'm just going to send it back to Houston, to be honest, because I don't want to get that wrong. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the Rockets are supposed to have their pick back, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong on that. Maybe we're supposed to have the 12th pick. My apologies, but we can rock with 1, 17, and 26, and let's go ahead and see what we can do with the number 1 overall pick. And as I mentioned, obviously Cooper Flagg has been kind of talking about the consensus number 1, but today we're going to take Ace Bailey to kind of switch it up. So Ace Bailey, welcome to Brooklyn. He'll be our, and then Portland gets Cooper Flagg, and we'll see what we can get at our next selection. Obviously, we'll still get another talented player there, whoever is here. So you have Carter Bryant, Michael Ruzic, Donnie Freeman, Alex Ivisic, Boogie Flan's down here. I actually don't mind the idea of Boogie Flan. I don't think I've taken him in a video. I've seen he could become insanely good. So I'm going to take Boogie Flan here out of Arkansas. Welcome. And then one last pick here. I'm going to go ahead and take... who do we want? Do we want Carter Knox, All-NBA? Or do we want like I don't know how to say his last name, but Stevenson? Give me Jaron Stevenson, I guess. Welcome out of Alabama, who has... What the hell? Why does he have Clowney's photo? What the... That's weird. I've never seen that happen before. That's very bizarre. All right, well, I don't know what just happened there, but... Does he have Clowney? Okay, I guess this draft class creator maybe used Jaron Stevenson or used Clowney's likeness. I have no idea. So we got also Malik Lewis in round 2. So very interesting there. I've never seen that. Boogie Flan, Ace Bailey, and then a carbon copy of no Clowney, I guess. Welcome. All right, so we got Clowney, of course, seeing his face again. Jalen Wilson, Drake Whitehead, and then we can decline Keon Johnson. That's fine. Zara Williams is free agent. And then I got a lot of hate for the last time I let go of this guy. So today we're going to find a way to keep him on the roster. My fault, guys. My apologies. Daron Sharp is also a free agent. We can extend the offer on him. So let's go ahead and get in free agency. So we do have money to spend on James Harden, which we obviously won't do. But Cameron Thomas is a free agent. Let's take a look at our team now. So Boogie Flan, I think we're going to get the start right away. So that'll be fun. Cameron Thomas will obviously be the starting shooting guard. Ace Bailey will be our starting 3. Tobias Harris will be our starting 4 for now. And then Claxton and Clowney as our center rotation feels fine with me. So we can rock with that. Harris and Wilson's fine. We're going to resign Zara Williams, who we can move at shooting guard or small forward. But let's take a look who all is a free agent. So Ben Simmons, we're not bringing back. Sharp. Yeah, we'll bring back Sharp, I think. So we'll resign Cameron Thomas to a deal. And I think 25 feels pretty solid for him. So I'm cool with that. And we'll resign Zara Williams to a nice little contract as well. So he'll be a nice little role player going forward. 23 can only get better from here. And we'll sign Daron Sharp to a nice little contract too. And then I think that's it. We're not resigning Ben Simmons, obviously. So we can let Ben Simmons go. We can renounce everybody else. So that will look good. And we can renounce these. But I will make sure to get... I don't know how to say his name, but we'll make sure to get this guy back. Because, like I said, the last time I did a Nets video, I'm pretty sure I cut him. And, dude, there were so many people upset with me. And rightfully so. I think I actually remember seeing a story about that guy. So my apologies for what I did in the last video. I promise not to do that today. But Jalen Wilson, Tobias Harris, does this look good? Yeah, I can rock with this. So that will be our roster. Now we go to player progression and kind of see who needs to be, if there's anything that needs to be changed around. So Tobias Harris's contract is an expiring salary. So you could probably move him at the deadline as well, which should be fun. Clowney's up to a 77. You have Zara Williams up, and you have Jalen Wilson up. You have Daron Sharp up, Milton up, Derek Whitehead is up, and then Boogie Flan will, like I said, is going to get the start here at the point guard position this year, and then Cameron Thomas, Ace Bailey. So I don't think we'll be in the playoffs next year, obviously. We'll be, have another good pick. Hopefully we can walk away with AJ. We can have an Ace Bailey AJ team. That'd be awesome. But we'll see how the season goes. Cameron Thomas might low-key lead us to the playoffs with how much he scores the damn ball. And then Ace Bailey, obviously going to help out a ton in that regard too. So let's take a look at the rotation here. So they want to start Shake Milton, but like I said, I am 100% going to start Boogie Flan this season. I'm going to let him just develop immediately. So we're rocking with that. And then so we got Boogie Flan, Cameron Thomas, Ace Bailey, Tobias Harris, and Claxton. Looks all good to me. Was there Williams, Clowney, Sharp, Jalen Wilson, and Derek Whitehead. I'm more than okay with everything I'm seeing right now. So that is good. The only other thing I want to look at is some shot tendencies. So Cameron Thomas is, very high, rightfully so. Ace Bailey, 80-80 out of the draft is good. I'm cool with that. And then who is the other guy? So Boogie Flan, what is his shot tendency? The 65, which I'm fine with as his rookie season as well. So Let's go ahead, simulate year number 2. Obviously, I'm not expecting to be in the playoffs this year, but hey, if Cameron Thomas gets us there, I guess I also wouldn't be too shocked. But hopefully we find ourselves in the lottery again, because I think that's probably the best position to be in for this coming off season. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Flag doesn't get Rookie of the Year and not Ace Bailey. That could be because Cameron Thomas obviously scoring the ball a lot, which doesn't allow Ace Bailey to be the #1 option. But here are the rest of your awards. So All-NBA first team, you got Luka, Jokic, Wemby, Embiid, and Halliburton. Here's your All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team. Obviously, we should get Ace Bailey on All-Rookie first team at least, and Boogie also makes it too, which is nice. So he averaged 11 points in his rookie season. Ace Bailey averaged 16, so very efficient as well, which is something we'll absolutely take. So we end up as obviously not a play-in or playoff team, unfortunately, not quite yet. We're getting there. 24 points from Cameron Thomas, 16 from Ace Bailey, 13 from Zaire Williams, 11 and 6 from Boogie Flan, 10 from Clowney, 10 from Sharp, and then 9.5 from Tobias Harris. So I thought about trading the deadline, but unfortunately, there just really wasn't a good offer on the table, so we're just going to let him walk in free agency. He's got Pistons and the Spurs, so it looks like the Pistons with Cameron Johnson. Was he starting? Let's see. Was he a starter for the Pistons? No, but he is the 6th man, so they won a championship with him. So it looks like all the picks they traded to make that happen, it paid off. So shout out to the Pistons for that. But let's get straight to the offseason once again. And just like last year, it's all going to start with the lottery. Fingers crossed we can get lucky and get them 1 overall pick. You know, walking with AJ here and pairing him with Ace Bailey and Cameron Thomas would be a ton of fun. And obviously, we just complete this rebuild. And we won't get that lucky. We're going to drop to 7. OKC, though, will be. And they're probably going to draft him, which might make it impossible for us to win a championship today. But we'll give it our best shot. So, we got Jordi Fernandez as coach, which I'm fine with rolling with. I think, obviously, he, inherited a rebuilding roster. So, there's no need for us to have expectations on him just yet. But next season, expectations will raise just a little bit higher. Kind of depending on what kind of roster we build this offseason. So, picking at number 7. Really wanted to get AJ on this team, but we're not going to get that lucky. Darius goes to Miami. Peterson goes to Orlando. You got Boozer going to Chicago. You're going to have Caleb Wilson to LA. And then Braden goes to Arizona. Okay. So who can we take? So we have Koa Pete. We have Nate. We have Koa, Nate, Jaden, Malik Thomas, Chris, or Gerald Harrelson. Or Jalen Harrelson. Who did we just draft? I mean, is that who we drafted last year? What was his name? Not quite. It's Jaron Stevenson. Okay, so which one do we want is the question. So Harrelson is a ceiling of a Hall of Fame. He's 6'7". I think it's probably best to take Koa or Nate here. I'm not really sure which one I'd want, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take Koa here. So welcome to Brooklyn out of Arizona. That will be our first round pick. So welcome to Brooklyn. He'll be a 77 overall, so I think that's probably the best player we could have drafted with where we're at. We also got Keith King in round 2. So welcome. Player options. Accept all these, and then qualifying offers. Jalen Wilson looks in the offer on him as well. For free agency, we have Jalen Wilson as a free agent, Tobias Harris, and Simone. So let's see. Do we want to do anything? We do have money to, spend money. I mean, we're New York, so it's not like we can't attract free agents. So that's something we got to keep in mind. So Thomas and Zaire Williams, Ace Bailey, Derek Whitehead. Koa is the new starting power forward if we want to, and then Claxton and Clowney. So I guess the one position that we could upgrade to the point guard or the power forward, because Ace Bailey's the small forward, obviously, going forward, and Cameron Thomas is the shooting guard still. And then Claxton, we could upgrade from him, but there's no need to. He's a fine starting center. So power forward or point guard, is there anybody worth our while here? We can sound like Trey Mann, Anthony Simons, or something like that, or Lonzo, but don't really want any of those guys. Ivy, Benedict Mathurin, and we have John Collins and Sohan. So nothing that I'm really liking too much here. So instead of, going after a starter, I think we'll just kind of fill out our bench as best as possible. So Derek Whitehead should only get better. So to me, the only position we need is a backup power forward, which Stevenson might be better or might get good enough to be our backup power forward, and a backup point guard. So backup point guard, we have like Bones Highland. We have AJ Mitchell. I don't know. I almost said Adonai Mitchell, who is a wide receiver for the Colts out of Texas. But AJ Mitchell, who got waived by, I think, the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken, is where he came from. Or maybe it's the Thunder. Maybe it's the Thunder that I'm thinking of. Is it the Thunder? Yeah, it's the Thunder. So Oklahoma City, AJ Mitchell, we're going to offer on. I don't know if we'll get him, though. It looks like we may not have offered enough to get him because he's restricted. But power forwards, we have like Peyton Watson, who actually kind of like the idea of. We're going to sign Peyton Watson to a deal as well. Only 23 years old, and we are, we could move him around if needed. So that's going to probably move us on from Jalen Wilson. So AJ Mitchell, Peyton Watson is going to be our haul in free agency to add some role players off the bench, and that will be our free agency period. Ace Bailey, of course, is going to be really good this upcoming season. And then Boogie Flan, also really good, already up to an 80 overall. So this team is developing very quickly. Clowney's up. You have Boogie Flan up 8 overall. Obviously gave him a lot of opportunity to play this year. That might have had something to do with it. Whitehead's up to an 80 as well, so he's ready to roll. So yeah, this should be, not saying we're going to make the playoffs, but I mean, this could be a team that makes it potentially. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't rule it out. I'll say that. If Ace Bailey takes on a larger role this year and Cameron Thomas continues to do what he does, then Boogie Flan will see what he does, and then we added Koa Pete. Like, this could be a play-in or playoff team. It really could be. So let's go take a look at the rotation, and then honestly, we probably will boost Ace Bailey's stats enough to where he can score the ball a lot. If they haven't boosted it up already, then Boogie Flan, we'll see what his stats look like as well as far as shots in the season. That's what we're looking at in particular. So let's go see what those two things look like, and then we can kind of figure out and have expectations going into the season. So here's going to be the rotation going into this season. We are 3.5 balanced with Peyton Watson now being a starter, which is fine with me, but let's take a look at it. So here is the full rotation right now. So you got Boogie Flan, you have Cameron Thomas, you have Ace Bailey, you have Peyton Watson, you have Claxton, Clowney, Drake Whitehead, AJ Mitchell, Koa Pete, and Zaire Williams as your full rotation, which is fine. So we are leaving Stevenson out, and Daron Sharp is also left out as well because Clowney developed a little bit better than him, which is fine. And the only other thing I want to show you guys really quickly as well is, of course, I told you I would adjust the shots in season. We've done that. So Thomas is, of course, still is a 98, 99. Ace Bailey's a 98, 91 as well. And then Boogie Flan is also to a 72, 74. And low key, I actually wouldn't mind reversing this. I'm actually going to go 90, 91 to Cameron Thomas. We're going to go 98, 99 to Ace Bailey because he's going to be the number one option here, or at least I'd like that to be the case. And if he is, I think obviously as far as he goes is where we will go. So let's go ahead. I'm like year 3. I think there is a chance we make the play-in this year or the playoffs. But, you know, again, if we miss, no big deal. There's still plenty of time. But it would be nice to see this team make the playoffs this year because I do think we have the talent to do so. So let's see how it goes. So at the end of year 3, Luka Doncic is once again your MVP. Boozer is your rookie of the year for the Chicago Bulls. Giddey's your 6-man Wemby's defensive player. And VJ Edge comes your most improved. And Jokic is your clutch player. And Kidd is your coach of the year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. And exciting stuff this season because Koa did make an All-Rookie second team, which is good. So nice to see him contributing off the bench. But we actually made the playoffs, and not only did we make the playoffs, we actually won 50 games, which is really, really good to see, man. 50 and 32 on the season. 5th seed in the East going up against a Toronto team, and then we can take a look at the stats. So, obviously, even with boosting the shot tendencies backwards between Bailey and Thomas, Thomas still led the way with 24. So, I mean, if Cameron Thomas is going to be that guy, he's going to be that guy, which is fine. He's not making too much money for us either. He's up to an 89. Can't be too mad at it. Ace Bailey with 20. Boogie Flan with 14, really stepping up. AJ Mitchell, 14 off the bench. Really nice to acquired him. Here's the rest of your stats. So let's go ahead and see how we do against Toronto. So Toronto is going to have Quickly, Grady Dick, RJ, Barnes, Jacoberto, Ayton, Mogbo, Abaji, and Jacoby Walters. So this will be interesting to kind of see how this series goes. I don't know if we're ready to win a championship this season. If we win a series, that'd be great. But overall, I'm just happy to have made the playoffs with this team. And we are going to beat them in 5. So actually, we might be able to go on a crazy run here. We just beat Toronto pretty easily. And they're a team that, not in real life, but in 2K, if you guys have noticed, which I'm sure you guys have and I have, Toronto is pretty successful in the 2K sim in the playoffs. They usually go pretty far. So the fact that we eliminated them very early gives me some hope here. But Chicago did get De'Aaron Fox and Boozer. So this is a good-looking Chicago team. So this will be interesting to kind of see how this goes. And we get swept. So much for the talks of, hey, maybe we're making our deep run. And Detroit is going to lose to Chicago as well. So Chicago added De'Aaron Fox, and they went on to win a championship with Boozer being your finals MVP. So I guess Chicago is a team to look out for as well. But with that all being said and everything we just, looked at and saw, I think it's time to up the aggressiveness a little bit. So we have 2 first-round picks in this draft, actually 3, one from Sacramento as well. So I think we'd be, making a mistake here if we didn't try to make a big trade to push us in a position to go in a championship while Ace Bailey's cheap, while Boogie Flan is cheap, and while Cameron Thompson is cheap. So whether that means trading Claxton away for an upgrade to center position, whatever it means. I mean, obviously, the 2 positions that are locked in, actually 3 positions. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward is completely locked in. So to me, The power forward and the center spot is the two positions we need to potentially try to make an upgrade. We don't have to move on from Claxton. And Koa Pete might even be ready to be a good player next year, but if he's coming off the bench, that doesn't hurt either. So I'm going to look at all the options here because we're about to have a lot of picks in this draft, and we don't need to add that much young talent. It's kind of actually at 5 first in this draft, and 1 being from Philadelphia, which I just noticed we have a top 4 pick. So that's even going to help out even more to trying to acquire a big piece here if we can do it. So as promised, I did scan the trade market, and there's 2 guys in particular I want to see if I can make a move for. And they're 2 guys I don't trade for very often either, so that's why this would be a very fun thing if we could pull it off. So the first one being Orlando with Paulo Banchero, or Banchero, however you want to say it. Orlando Paulo. That would be kind of fun. 94 overall, 24 years old, absolutely fits the timeline of the team. The other one, not sure why he's there, but he is Utah's J-Dub. They got Jalen Williams over in Utah. So we could try to go for either one. I really like the idea of either of them. I think Oklahoma City obviously will keep Jalen Williams, but he's in Utah right now for whatever reason, and they weren't good last year. So will they move on from Jalen Williams, or do we go for Paulo Banchero from Orlando? Either way, it's a win-win. So we're going to start with Paulo Banchero off the Magic, and if we can't pull this off, and obviously we'll go after Jalen Williams. So we're not trading Thomas Ace Bailey. We're not trading Claxton in this scenario since we're obviously going to be upgrading Paul from, upgrading from like Peyton Watson. So Peyton Watson, we can throw Koa Pete in here since obviously he's not going to play a ton. And then we could throw our other first round pick from a few years ago, Stevenson, in here, who's not worth a ton. We have the 4th overall pick from Philly. We have the 15th overall pick, and we have the 17th overall pick. Is this enough to get Paulo? It's not. So that's not enough to get Paulo Banchero. So Stevenson's not going to be anything of value to them. What if we threw AJ Mitchell in here? Does that make a difference? No, it does not. Okay. Zaire Williams, probably not going to make a difference. Maybe remove this pick and throw AJ Mitchell in here. No. So we can't get Paulo. It is worth a shot. So we can't get Paulo, but I'm sure we can get J-Dub. I think he's going to be a little bit easier to get. So we're going to see him get Jalen Williams. So Watson, Koa Pete, the 4th overall pick, and I think this is the 15th pick, right? Or whatever. So is this enough to get Jalen Williams? Can we even do this without Koa in the trade? I wonder if we could do it without Koa in the trade. We'll maybe go Stevenson, who's valuable to the Jazz, I guess. And then is there anything else we can throw in here? No. Let's just leave it at that. Maybe we could offer the 17th pick. What do they say? That was easy. All right, so we keep Koa out of the trade as well, and we get Jalen Williams here in Brooklyn. So not sure, like I said, why he's in Utah in the first place, but I know also if you move Jalen Williams to small forward, and as you can see, he goes up like crazy. Ace Bailey will go down 3 as well. So I guess we'll leave both of them at small forward. But, either way, it's fine. So they're both going to be our starting forwards, obviously. Moving into small forwards a cheat code. So we like that at a 93 overall with Jalen Williams. So now that makes this team even more interesting going into next year. And obviously we just made the trade or traded a ton of draft picks to do it. But we're trying to go into championship next year with that move. We're, being aggressive while we have some while we have guys on rookie contracts. We're going to take, I think, Carmelo's son out of Syracuse, which is nice. And I'll let my assistant GM take the other one. So we'll get Keon Anthony and Keith King, who I think we just drafted last year, didn't we? Do we have him twice now? Or am I tripping? So I don't know. He might be on a roster twice, which is funny. Drake Whitehead looks in the offer on. And then for free agency, I mean, we might have some money left over. I'm not 100% sure on that. We do have some money left over, technically. But it looks like we have to spend quite a bit of money on some free agents. So, we're going to go after Clowney, who's, wanting a ton of money, but might even more develop even more. And then we're going to sign. So, yeah, our team's going to be very expensive, but we're going all in, basically. We're saying that, hey, this team has what it takes to go win a championship next year. Boogie Flan should get better. Jalen Williams obviously added to the team to kind of help out with that. So let's see what player progression does look like with everything we've done to get to this point. So player progression, you have Ace Bailey up to an 89. Obviously, Jalen Williams moving him. He's up to a 93. Boogie Flan up to an 82. So it didn't develop like crazy, but that's still serviceable. Koa's up to an 82. Yeah, this team should be able to make some noise. And yes, we do have Keith King twice. I thought so. So welcome to Brooklyn twice, I guess. All right. Let's get into year number 4 at this point, and let's see if this, going all in pays off. Maybe we bring the championship to this Nets team after Schroder's been traded, and this is what we built on the aftermath of that. When I tell you this team was way better than I thought they would be, I mean it. Wemby is your MVP. Brandon McCoy is your rookie of the year. Igor is your 6th man. Wemby's defensive player. And then here's your moment of truth. I'm assuming we get coach of the year because Yeah, we won 74 freaking games, bro. 74-8 is insane work, and we don't get executive of the year, which is wild. But Fernandez gets coach of the year at 74-8. But none of that matters if we don't get the championship. We can't go 74-8 and not get a title, right? Surely we can. Obviously, we remember the Warriors did it. They went 73-9 and then get the championship. We will not be the Warriors. We just broke the freaking record. 24 from Ace Bailey, 20 from Cameron Thomas, 18 from Jalen Williams, 17 from Boogie Flan, 8 assists go alongside that. It just looks like this roster fit extremely well together. So, I'm expecting nothing less than a championship here. We draw the Washington Wizards in round 1. We dominated the regular season. This is a good-looking team, but we were unstoppable in the regular season, so it makes me think will be the same case here. Now, we get Detroit, who has been pretty intimidating. They have Igor up to an 88. They've made some deep runs. They won a championship earlier, but we're up 1-0. We're up 2-0. So we lost or beat the Wizards in 5. And yeah, we're going to dominate the Pistons. And now we get the team that beat us last year, which is the Chicago Bulls. And they actually won a championship last year with Fox and Boozer. So this is probably the ultimate test we probably could have drawn here. Let's see how this goes. So game 1, 1-0. Dominated them there. 2-0. 2-1. All right. Do we let them even it up? Nope. 3-1. And we beat them in 5. Okay. And now we get the ultimate test because we get to deal with AJ and the Thunder. Obviously, they don't have JW anymore. We have them. And now we get to play Shea, AJ, Blue Watch, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein. A lot of size in this damn lineup. And Noah Traore, Will Riley. Here we go. Game 1 goes to them. Okay. Game 2. Wow. This is not up to a good start. Did we get this far just to lose in the finals? That'd be pretty wild. I mean, it happened to the Thunder. We got to even the series up, hopefully. And it looks like the Thunder might go up 3-0 on us if we don't get out of this. If we don't take a lead here soon, which we do take the lead. So we do end up winning game 3. Now I got to win game 4. And both these are on the road in OKC. They took both games in Brooklyn. But so far, both games on the road are looking good for us unless we blow the lead here. We are going to beat them by 3, but that was close for comfort. And now we go back to Brooklyn for a game 5 where we lost the first 2 games at home. Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder are testing us here, but so far this looks good. And we are going to beat them pretty easily here in game 6. And now, game 5. And now we head to a game 6. So they want to shake things up for this rotation. Clowney's going to start, I guess, over Claxton. So here we go. Game 6 in OKC to win this thing and avoid a game 7 at all costs. Because going 74-8 and like I said, falling short of your goal does not feel good. So we are in a nice little lead here right now. But it is pretty close. So we might jump in to end this video off. We have a 6-point game with 2 minutes left in the game. So let's see if I can come in here, defend this 74-8 title, and make sure we don't make sure we don't turn into the Warriors and blow this thing. So here we go. I was gonna just dribble around. Ooh, AJ versus Ace Bailey. I like this matchup a lot. I like it, but I didn't mean to pass that, but it actually worked out. I did not even mean to do that. I was trying to pass it to Cameron Thomas in the corner, but you know what? That worked out a lot. So that's gonna be a nice first basket for us. Shea, and it's almost like the computer took over and did that for me. Shea just hit a nasty 3. Yeah, so that's a good shot for them. And now it's a 5-point game. All right, well, we're back. Oh, almost backcourt. Whoops. All right, so we're going to get a screen from Claxton. Almost wanted to take that shot, but let's go to Clowney in the corner, go back to Cameron Thomas, pick up our dribble. All right, take a lot of time off the clock, which is what we wanted. And now we're going to get a screen from Claxton so we can get around Isaiah Hartenstein here. And we are going to not get the layup, and the Thunder get a stop. All right. Chet's in transition right now. Let's not allow him to get... That's good defense. That's going to be a block. Do we get the offensive rebound? Or not rebound, but, the ball. Not offensive rebound. A rebound, but not offensive. Okay, so now the Thunder are going to have the ball on the sideline. 15 seconds left in the shot clock. They're going to try to get to Shea. I want to see if I can keep Shea. They're going to go Shea here. I'm there. And they're going to... Okay, this is a mid-range. Chet is going to knock it down. It's a 3-point game. So we need to actually hit a shot on this possession. So let's go to Ace Bailey here. And Malou Watch wasn't even ready. And I thought I was going to dunk it. Thankfully, we got the offensive rebound, though. I thought I was just going to dunk that, but we tried to go under the basket layup. That did not work out like we wanted to. So Ace Bailey 3 is what I'm going to take here. And it almost goes down. I really wanted that shot to go down. Shea's going to have the ball in transition. All right, so we got Boogie Flan on Shea. This looks like a mismatch if I've ever seen one. But we're going to come down with the help defense, and that's going to be a missed layup. Just like that, we get another stop. And let's go J-Dub on his former team. Can he dunk this on his former team? And yes, we get a layup. Not a dunk, but it is a 5-point game. So it's a crucial layup by Jalen Williams. We needed that really badly. And now Shea is going to have the ball here. 19 seconds left in the shot clock. We're there, mid-range again. We stop it again, and now they're going to play the foul game. It looks like we came in and saved the day. It got kind of scary there for a second. I guess this game isn't technically over yet. We're going to knock down the first free throw to make this a 7-point game if we can knock down the second one. Are we going to accident release here? No, we cannot, but it is going to go down anyway. 193. Thunder are not using their timeout, so they're going to keep it, I guess. And now Shea is going to have the ball, and now they're going to call the timeout. So, cross half court line, call the timeout. It is minute 4, or sorry, there's only, what, 29 seconds left in the shot clock. So, we got to stop here. That should be ball game. Casey Wallace is about to get the ball. They're going to go to Shea in the corner. You know what? I'm fine with him driving. We get a block, and we're going to get another stop. And the defense is playing incredible so far. And are they not fouling? I don't think they're fouling. And we're going to go ahead and dunk it on them with Cameron Thomas. And that was going to be the dagger. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It looked like they were trying to foul me, and it almost looked like they weren't going to foul me. I don't know what they were doing. But 3 Malou watch. It's not going to go in. And that is all she wrote. 74-8. And we complete the quest of winning a championship with this Nets team. Beautiful stuff. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We turned the Brooklyn Nets into a freaking god squad almost. Like, you know, getting Jalen Williams really complete this product, man. Moving to small forwards cheat code. 73 overall. Ace Bailey and him were incredible. The team just seemed to fit extremely well based off the simulation we got. So thank you all for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.